Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and I am your cruise director on the Magical Mystery Tour. Today we are doing a full face of products that I've been really liking recently. But before we get to that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell to be alerted to any new uploads. And if you like this video at the end, please give it a big thumbs up. Let's go play. I wanted to film some products that I've really been liking, and I don't think I've shown all of them on the channel yet. So let's get straight into it. Obviously, skin is prepped. First up is the Holme Beauty primer in the shade Bang. The reason it's in the box, I have used it, but they've recently relaunched with a new formulation and I still have a couple of tubes of this on the go in my drawer of the old formula, so I want to make sure I keep them separate. There's nothing wrong with the old formula. I didn't actually think it needed fixing, but Hillary did, if you know the brand. This is a beautiful, lightweight, hydrating, illuminating primer. Just let me fix my mirror. And it really makes, for me, all my products just sit better over the top, as well as we know I love a glowy base to shine through on everything. It diffuses fine lines and wrinkles and all that jazz. So you can see it's not, if you've seen me use it on here or if you're aware of the product, it's not as glowy as the previous version. Like, it's not as super shiny, but it is juicy, and as I said, it just, she's leveled up this time. Next up for foundation, I have nothing but amazing things to say about the new Natasha Denona foundation. I did review this a couple of weeks ago, I think. Might have even been last week on here. I've been wearing this, well, I've only used other foundations in order to film other things and to try other products. This, I could happily get rid of all of my other foundations and just use this. This is next level. This is self-setting. I am a powder setting girly. We all know that. I've never hidden the fact. It's quite runny. This is the shade P2, Peach 2, for a warmer undertone. It, as you can see, is stupidly the most perfect shade for me. This is a self-setting product. What you do need to know is that whilst it is self-setting, it's not completely transfer proof, and it does take a bit of time for it to set down. So it's not as quick drying as a lot of other foundations, but it is beautifully long wearing. It is flexible with your skin, and it wears, I think I've worn this for 15 hours one day and it still looked great. So this product has pretty much lived on my desk. Like, I normally swap in and out of foundations quite happily on the daily, and I haven't wanted to reach for anything else, and I have been really sad when I've had to. I've been comparing it to this and just not getting as good a finish and as good a look when I wear this. So as I said, this takes a little while to dry down, is just one thing to be aware of. Going in with concealer now, it's not new, and not all of these products are new. These are just what I have been loving. And it's the Haus Labs Triclone Concealer. And the reason that I'm really liking this as well, you see just 3 dots, is for the same reason as Natasha Denona, is that this is a self-setting concealer and it has flexibility with it, which means it's going to move with the movement in your face. And if you are like me and have wrinkles and lines, because I do not get any form of filler or Botox at the moment. Will that change? Who knows? But it moves with your face, and I'm animated like a cartoon, let me tell you. So with this, you don't need to set down either. Going in with my MAC paint pot, and today I'm using soft ochre as it's matching that warmer tone on my skin with this foundation. And what this does is twofold. Like a lot of people will use a concealer, I just prefer this. This is more designed for the placement of eyeshadow over if you have particularly oily lids and have breakthrough, if you're using concealer or foundation and your eyeshadow is disappearing. I cannot recommend this highly enough to help mitigate that problem. Now we're at the usual stage where if you look closely, you'll see I have not done my brows. I'll get there. Finding time. I am just using, this is $1 Billion Brows. It's not new. I don't even know if you can get this particular product anymore. I think you can if you look online, maybe through Amazon or iHerb. This is the Universal Brow. It's a perfect neutral, doesn't lean too warm. It also, the shade is universal, so it is designed to work with pretty much everyone. And if I could get this exact shade in every pencil, I probably would. I'm not being too fussy with them today because they're a bit of a gone cause, really, at this point in time. Now, let's get onto a bronzer. If you have been really struggling to find a bronze tone that you're happy with, because we know how often they tend to lean a bit orange, a bit warm. Catrice has only recently come to Australia and available at Priceline. If you're overseas, obviously this has probably been around forever, but the Melted Sun Liquid Bronzer, all products will be listed down below. You can see that is almost bordering on a contour, but it's not. It's a bronzer. Like there is a slight greyish to it, but in all honesty, this works perfectly. And it's not too heavy. This is such a good, you can see that it's not, it's just giving you that nice effect around the perimeter of your face. So I think all the products might be creamy type, liquid or cream, but they're not. Which I wanted to show you. I'm just going on to that little bit that's on my hand now. And go like that. So this works really well as a bronzer, I guess. Don't forget to go up behind your ears. Two things: foundation on your ears, particularly if your ears show, because you'll really notice a difference in your skin tone. If you get hot, if you flush, it's going to show on your ears. And if you're trying to give your jawline that has no jawline some shape, ensure you go up behind your ears and then down, so that you're not having a huge big cut off. See, That's really nice. And just put a little bit more on my hand now to go down my wonky nose. So, blush. Let's go in. This is a Coral K-Beauty blush from the same. It's a jelly blush. I really like this. Like, it's cream, but it's not. Look at that. But it goes to a powder as soon as you start to tap it down. So it's sort of mattifying, but that's fine. Because the Natasha foundation is so glowy, this pulls that back, and then we're going to add some glow with our highlight in any case. But I'd like to order more of these. This is a really nice product. Just a little bit of glue, Now, NARS have recently released the light reflecting luminizing powder. I have got the shade Heavenly. This almost feels wet. Look at that beaming glow. Bonkers. Tapping into this. It is a hybrid formula in that it feels, it's not quite a putty, but it is bordering on that. So very much, I'd say it's baked. I haven't looked at it, but very much like the Stila Kitten. So you're not going to get cakiness. It won't enhance texture, but can you see that glow? This is really nice. I have been using this a bit when I just want to add a little bit of glow, but it not be, because when I stuck that on my finger, it was quite bright, yeah, but we're using a brush. You can intensify that by using your finger to do it. I don't need to. Going in with lips. Now, I think I used this in a video. I can't remember. This was the W7 True Liner. I thought it was an eyeliner. This is what happens when you're a blind crazy lady who didn't put her glasses on, because it is a lip liner. Hate it as an eyeliner because it's not an eyeliner. Like it as a lip liner. This is stupidly affordable. Now, I normally like a wooden barrel because I prefer them being a bit firmer. This is great. And I want to say I paid like $5. Just slightly overlining my lip at the Cupid's bow. It's got a little brush on the other end for you to soften. You see. For lips, Holme Beauty brought out their new Stay Glaze lipstick stain. So we already had the 2 shades up here, which were Annabelle and Emma, and then 5 new shades were brought out. You can see along there all the different, these last all day. If you are a red wearer and worry about it coming off, I can say that Sherry is amazing. I'm using the shade Simone now. Being aware that if you are eating foods that are oily, fatty, obviously that can break down the stain, but this is the longest wearing stain I have used. I did say I'm wearing Simone. You start with like this gloss to it, and what will happen is as it wears off, a stain will be left behind. Actually, I should have cleaned my lip first. we'll just leave it at that. Because I haven't got anything in here to clean my lip with. You can see this is a very wearable shade. Now, love them, love them, love them, love them. The red is going to be my summer shade. Polite Society bought out. Forget social media, I'm dope in real life. This has been around for a little while now. I did not expect to like this palette as much as I do. We're coming into spring, warmer weather, so I really like these sorts of colours, these warmer colours for spring, and very much lean into, as you can tell, this sort of shading, monochromatic looks. I nearly did exactly what I did the first time I wore it, and was going to use this as the initial transition. That is a slight satin. So let's go into this middle straight away instead. Teacup hold. Fluffy brush. Straight above. We won't say crease, because how often do I say this? This is your hood. Your orbital bone is your crease. If you've watched this long enough, you will see when I go in straight here, and it looks like I'm going above where you think you should go for a transition. But I'm not. I'm going where my bone structure says it should go, not where my saggy lids are trying to fake me into going. The result means that we end up with a more open eye and a lifted eye, because it's disguising that sagging. Back to that teacup hold, and what that does, holding it down the end of your brush and holding, you can start like that to give a bit more firmness, but the minute you lift these fingers off, it's going to allow you to blend that out better and to have a lighter hold. Which, if you want to ensure you blend, see how that's just blended out, super easy. And as much as it is the product, it is also how you hold the brush. I keep getting asked what these brushes are. They do look like the Morphe aerial ones, but they are Jessup. They're knockoff versions of it. Got them on eBay or Amazon. Going into this slightly darker shade now. This is the flatter brush. So let's just pull this through. You can see, just placing it in the exact same spot that I placed that last one, but slightly lower. And then we're going to just go over the edge with this brush again. Simple as that. This brush that I'm using is a Glam by Manicare brush. They comes in a 2 set. I want to say with this one, which is more a dense packing brush, and this is fluffier. I've got a few sets of these. I really like them. You can pick them up super cheap on sale at Chemist Warehouse. Going into that darker shade now, and just popping on the outer corner. You can see we're not being too fussed about this. Clean that brush off. If you don't have one of these, don't stress, just get yourself a microfiber cloth and run it across. And then, so each time we've come down a little bit lower, but the dark shade on the outer corner is the most important when you do, like, look at this, when you are extremely hooded like I am. Because what it's going to do is help disguise and push that hood back a bit. Could I have a blef? Absolutely. Will I? Yes, I will. When? I don't know. Going into that middle shade again. It's more about a timing thing for me, as far as the recovery time and work, and so I am thinking it won't happen until the middle of next year at the earliest, because It's just how I need to do it timing wise. And then bringing that down. What this is going to do is, if you do get any creasing underneath your eyes, this is going to help disguise that. Now I want to go in with, I think I'm going to go in with this shade here. I don't know if you can see the reflect in this. It's a really unusual orangey greeny, like it's weird. But what I like about this palette is that it's just, you don't really have to think too hard. Like, great everyday wear, you can go really, like, look at this, insane, really warm. Then you've got like that, and then it's just a beautiful palette. Can you hear Jelly snoring next to me? Okay, I just had to clean my finger off. This shade's amazing. In on the other side, as you move, the light just changes on it. So yeah, it's got that slight green, it's got the slight apricot to it, which I haven't really seen. Now, just going into this lighter shade, this does have a couple of little micro pigments of glitter in it, but it disappears on application. So I just never know why brands do that when it's going to disappear. It looks pretty in the pan, but then people get disappointed quite often. That being said, I do really like this palette. Again, as I said, I've reached for it quite a few times when I don't want to think about what I am doing. We are going to set down our face now. Now, I, for so long, loved this all day IRL, all day filter mattifying setting spray from Revolution. They have stopped making that. They discontinued it. This is full. I may have one or two more, because when I found out that was happening, I went and got all I could from my local. But as we are going into warmer weather, we want glowy skin, yeah? And we are pretty glowy as it is. So normally, to melt everything in, I give my face a really good soaking, because I'm not using powders really. The e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. And this is a bi-face, as in it's a oil sitting on top of a water formula. What that means is you get the hydration from the water component and you get dewy skin from the oil component. And give it a good shake. If you are wearing powders, give yourself a good soak with this, and this helps give. I've gone in pretty light here today because this will help give you dolphin skin. This is probably, if I'm wanting glow, that's going to be the product that I reach for nowadays. You can see that glassy skin effect right across. That's one of your secrets. Now, I also have the Rimmel Thrill Seeker Mega Lift Mascara. Let me just quickly curl my eyes. Yes, I did say curl my eyes. Curl my lashes. I've spoken about this, not this product, but I've spoken about, when I'm talking about mascaras on here quite often, a lot of the time I do not like them straight out of the tube when they are first opened. This is different. This is one of the ones. There's been a few over the last 12 months that I have tried that I actually have liked from first use, and this is one of them. A lot of it is coming down to the shape of these wands. See how that's got a really fine tip and then it spreads out. These ones, one, it's a fibre wand, which is my preferred wand. Secondly, with hooded eyes, what that does is allows you to get right into the corner and then really fan out the lashes on the outside, which we need to do when we have got hooded lashes. A lot of people like it in any case, but particularly with hooded and sagging lashes, we need to be able to build up on that outer corner to help disguise the hood. I'm just going to do the rest of this off camera because you don't need to see this. Okay, so And there we are. Can you see what I mean about that lift out in the corner there? This is a really nice mascara. A lot of people raved about the Colossal Bounce. I think I prefer this one over that for sure, as far as a New Release Chemist mascara. See the nice glow? My skin looks amazing. So these are all products that I've really been loving over the last couple of months. Some of them newer than others. Probably the last month. This is what I would take with me on a daily. What do you think? Glass skin, glass skin, glass skin. People keep forgetting about this as they move on to new products. But if you haven't tried any of these, I highly recommend them. I will link everything down below, but in the meantime, tell me what are your favourite products that you've been using recently. I'd really love to hear them. But until next time, my loves, don't forget to tell your mum, tell your sister, tell your friends. Come along, hang out, subscribe, all that jazz. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye. Mwah.